Well, hey everybody, welcome to this week's midweek message. I don't know where you're at listening to this, but if you're anywhere near Western Oklahoma, it is extremely hot. So we're going to try to keep this short and sweet because it's very hot in the barn. So a few days ago, I was watching a Major League Baseball game, and there was a routine fly ball hit out into left center. Center fielder and left fielder go after it. They both get to it, and I don't know whether they didn't call it in time. They didn't call it loud enough. It's obviously you can't tell just from watching the game on TV, but these two outfielders run into each other and the ball drops and the batter ends up getting a triple. And so I'm thinking in my mind as I'm watching this, I'm thinking my first reaction was, man, these are professionals. You know, this is some of the best in the world that play baseball, and they just let something as simple as a routine fly ball drop because they didn't communicate. It's a simple mistake. And you know, anytime we watch sports or watch anybody do anything professionally, we don't expect them to make mistakes because they're professionals. And sometimes we forget that they're capable of doing that. And so then, it got me thinking about how, as people, so many times we want to rank sin and we want to categorize people or categorize Christians based on their sins. And sometimes we forget about our own sins as we're doing that, as we're judging these people for their sins. That's a story for a whole nother day. We won't even get into that. But sometimes we want to categorize people based on sin. And sometimes people think that Christians shouldn't sin or that they shouldn't do anything wrong. You know, if they're God followers and they're faithful Christians, that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm sitting there thinking about, as I'm watching that game, all this came to me that, while some of the best baseball players on the planet can do something as simple as miss a routine fly ball because they ran into each other and didn't communicate well, as Christians, we're going to mess up daily, and we don't need to rank or categorize those sins and the people that commit those sins based on those. And so, being a Christian doesn't mean that we're perfect. As a Christian, we still need God. I know that sounds cliche. You hear that all the time. But, as Christians, we still need God. And really being a Christian just means that because of our faith, we have hope of something far greater than anything on this earth. And so, hopefully we can understand as people, just like the best baseball players in the world can miss a fly ball because they didn't communicate well. We understand and we have grace for people and for ourselves, and understand that as people, we're going to mess up and we're not going to be perfect, and we still need God, but we have hope of something great because of our faith. So hope everybody has a great rest of your week, and as always, love God, love people, go make a difference.